Sup nerds, I'm Tom.
And I'm Wes.
We're Never Board Gaming, and we're going to be taking a look at the Vegas expansion for Wits and Wagers.
On Kickstarter now, or it was, or it will be soon, and it's definitely one of those three.
Time is all relevant.
Relevant?
Damn it!
So if you haven't played any of the Wits and Wagers games before, it's a trivia game, but it's more than just a trivia game where it's like whoever gets the right answer. It becomes almost more of a statistics game. So you ask the question, it's always a numerical answer, so everyone writes down whatever number they think it is, and then you reveal it, you put them in order of numbers, and then you bet on whatever one you think is right.
However, with the Vegas expansion, you can also bet on a player to be right. You can bet down here, you can bet on black to be right or red to be right. So it really adds a little bit more variability. You have more options, and it does kind of come to a bit more of that one of my favorite aspects of gaming is playing the players, not the game. Because prior to seeing the answers that are selected is when you bet on the person. So you could be like, oh, this is a Star Wars question. I know Wes is going to get it. Boom.
And then, because I know that they know that I know Star Wars, I can then just put something completely backwards so that they all bet on me knowing I'm going to get it right, and I'm all like, ha, screw you guys. And in all of that, so betting on the player gives you a much higher reward bet, a 10-1, whereas before the highest was like a 6-1 or a 5-1. And it also gives you a 1-1 bet where you just bet on a color or like the left side of the board or the right side of the board. So basically it gives you a higher risk and reward and a lower risk and reward
when compared to the base game.
In addition to that, you also get this super fancy playmat that I think is kind of necessary for the game. The mat made it so much more fun and thematic and just flowed a lot better as well.
And the size of the mat really made it feel like we were in Vegas. You could even have like a player to be like the dealer the whole time. Like instead of anything passing around, you could just have one person who like almost even you can even just have that person not play if you want them to. Just like, hey, bets in, bets in, bets in. Like it really feels like Vegas. I mean, I've never been to Vegas, but I've seen movies.
And in addition to that, like that 10-1 bet where you're like, all right, I'm putting it all on Tom. It's a Captain America question. Tom's probably gonna get this right. Put it all on Tom. It didn't pay off. And the nice thing is that even if you do lose big and you lose everything, you're not out of the game because you always have the $200 and $200 chips that you can't lose. So unlike actual Vegas, you're never out of the game. You're never just in the red or out of money.
The final thing that this expansion does add is an additional player, so it can bring you from 6 players up to 7 players or from 6 teams up to 7 teams, depending on how you want to do it.
So I have played Wits and Wagers a few times before we play tested for this video, and I always liked it. It was a fun game. It's definitely my favorite trivia game because it's not just who knows the right answer, but you're betting on who you think got the right answer, or just once all the answers are out there, you can kind of bet the stats and say, okay, well, it's 2, 3, 4, 50. So 4 is anything between 4 and 49, so that's kind of statistically the best bet, and you can really logic your way through it. It's not just like, I don't know anything about baseball. I have no idea how old the oldest Major League Baseball player to ever hit a home run in the series is. And the Vegas expansion definitely adds a ton to it. One, you have the higher chips, so instead of all your chips being worth 100, you have the 500 and 1,000 chips, which especially with like the 10-1 payouts helps a ton. I think the winner had like over 9,000 chips in the game we played last. So having the higher chips just helps it feel better. Adding an extra player is fun if you have a lot of players in your groups. And with these games, like the more the merrier. There's no reason not to have a lot. I don't think this game necessarily needs to scale. I think the more the better because you have just more options to choose from. But it adds that. The higher and lower reward bets are nice because if you have no idea or you're kind of a player who's worried about being embarrassed by betting on someone and just being completely wrong, you can make that lower value bet and maybe you won't look as dumb. Or if you just want to be ridiculous and just bet all your money on one single person or yourself, it could pay off big, or you could get nothing and everyone just laughs at you because you bet on yourself and you were way wrong.
Yeah, like me with life.
I don't think I'd ever play this game again without the Vegas expansion and the mat. I think that it doesn't add too much to completely change the game or make it harder for anyone to grasp, but it does add enough to make it one step more fun for me. And like Tom said, just the thematics of having the playmat, having everything organized, and having the nice mat takes it to that next level. I do wish that they added actual poker chips in this expansion, and maybe there will be a pledge level on the Kickstarter that will. I really hope so, because that's the one thing I will say is as thematic as everything else was, having these little cardboard chips is not the most thematic thing, but it's also not super hard. You can pick up poker chips really cheap at like Target or Walmart even, and add those to this game to take it one more level higher.
So there isn't really much more for me to say than we already have said. And ultimately, this expansion doesn't add a lot in terms of stuff, right? Like, you're really just getting this mat, the 7th player board, and more chips. But what it adds thematically and what it kind of allows you to do and what it allows you to turn this game into is a really big deal. Because again, I really feel like the Vegas theme came through a whole lot. Like, this really was my first time playing Wits and Wagers, was this version. I didn't play it before with Wes, because Wes was like, hey Tom, you want to play Wits and Wagers? I was like, I don't want to do anything with you. And the conversation got really went south from there. But I really, really enjoyed, I don't really care about trivia games that much. That's never been my thing, really. But this wasn't a trivia game. This was a betting game. It was betting the players. It came down to being like, oh, well, that's a ridiculous sounding answer. You know, I'm not going to bet on that. But there was an awful lot of like, I really think Wes knows this, or I really think Mike knows this, or, you know, I'm pretty certain it's going to be one of these 2 answers, but, you know, I don't want to look like a wuss, so I'm not going to do the 1-to-1 bet. Like, it became... Again, it was all about the betting and the odds and statistics, really, at the end of the day. So I highly recommend you check out the Vegas expansion if you're a fan of Wits and Wagers, or if you're a fan of Vegas-style betting games at all. Like, if you've never played Wits and Wagers, I think this is a great place to jump into, because if we were to play just regular Wits and Wagers, I would feel like there's something missing now, obviously, because, you know, I was introduced to it as being this, and then if you back it up to just being like, oh, we just have, you know, which one's higher or lower, which one do you think? I'd be like, this is dumb, Wes. Stop inviting me to play games with you.
But if you are someone who plays this and then maybe you want to go back to the old game because you liked it better, or you have a player in your group that may not like these odds, the backside of this mat does have just the old vanilla game on it. So if that's your thing, it's right there. You can, you know, play that still.
If you're watching this video on YouTube, we will put a link to the Kickstarter campaign in the description box down below.
Or if you're already on Kickstarter, the back button is right up there. You should definitely consider checking this one out.
Either way, subscribe to our channel and you'll never be bored. I didn't play it before with Wes, because Wes was like, hey Tom, you want to play Wits and Wagers? I was like, I don't want to do anything with you. And the conversation got really went south from there.
I was like, oh, fine. I'm going to marry your sister. See what you think about that.